This is Michael Orrell of MobileBurn.com, and today I have with me the LG Fathom, a device also known as the VS750. It's a Windows Mobile 6.53 smartphone, has a 3.2-inch resistive display, a 3.2 megapixel camera, and a couple of features like a slide-out QWERTY keyboard and a 3.5mm headphone jack somewhere, right here on the side. Let's set this aside for a second and go through the contents of the box. Here we've got the cable, micro USB for connecting to the phone. Here's the charger. The charger has a USB connector for use with that same cable. Looks like this one comes with a couple adapters since it's a world roaming phone. It means it works on Verizon's CDMA network and also will work on GSM and UMTS networks outside of the US. So that's why you have a variety of plugs here that can go onto the charger. It looks like we've got European, might be Australian, and then UK as well. So elsewhere in the box, we've got the VZ Access Manager software. That's what's used when you're using the phone as a modem. So obviously it supports tethering. It's a bit of a promotional material for some of Microsoft's services. Global support guide. Verizon has this with all their world roaming phones. It has all the support phone numbers that you can call for all the different countries in the world. And of course, this is your basic user guide and quick start guide. So here's the Fathom itself. I'll take a quick look at it, all its hardware features. First off, let's pull off some of these protective films, and there are a lot of them on this device. They're all over the place. So, as I mentioned before, that's a 3.2-inch display. It's a wide VGA resolution resistive touchscreen, so it's not a glass panel or anything like that. On the left-hand edge, we have the previously mentioned 3.5mm headphone jack, and we've got some protective coverings here on the side of the device and the volume control. And then here's the micro USB port for charging. Also looks like it's a reset button, holdover from older Windows Mobile phones. More protective coatings here on the back, covering up the 3.2 megapixel camera and the speaker. And you can see there's also a stylus, feeling right here, collapsible stylus. A little unusual in that it goes across the short way across the device. Up here on the right hand edge, we've got a kind of slick looking micro USB card slot. Very cool little cover for it. Again, more protective coatings on the camera shutter button, and another button up here. Probably going to be a shortcut button. Can't get that off. We'll get it later. It's just this thing is covered in little bits of plastic wrap. So again, it's a shutter button. I think that's probably going to be a shortcut menu, bring up some functions. Up top you can see we've got a little LED here. Also the main power button. Down at the bottom we have call send, call end. Call send also works as a voice dial button. You might be able to see the little microphone logo there embossed there, and of course the main Windows button for bringing up the main menu. Open up the device, reveal the nice 4-row QWERTY keyboard and the D-pad. Dedicated row of numbers up top, so you've got the space bar sitting between the B key and the V key. Throws off the layout a bit, but plastic buttons, seems to have a very nice feel. Large D-pad, well separated from the rest of the keyboard, so it's easy to find. Has a very distinctive feel to it. It's a little bit smooth, glossy plastic. Looks like a speakerphone button and a dedicated back button, or OK button, depending on what you're used to with Windows Mobile. Several shortcut keys, and you can see the function key down here in orange in the bottom left-hand corner is how you get to the symbols that are used throughout the keyboard. Take a look at the back of it, and of course another protective film. LG obviously invested heavily in plastic. The back panel here, notice there's already scratches here. There was no protective plastic on this, and perhaps this is why they were putting it everywhere else. There are already scratches right here and here on this the matte surface of this. It has a nice pattern to it. You can see it here in the video, but it does look like it's going to scratch easily. I'm going to pop open the back here so we can take a look at what's inside. Of course, more protective plastic covers even on the inside of this phone. And let's see if we can grab the battery. Yeah, and there you can see the Verizon Vodafone SIM card, because Verizon is partly owned by Vodafone, so when you are roaming internationally, you'll be sitting on Vodafone's networks most of the time. Take a look at the battery. It says it's a 1500 milliamp hour battery, so it should be good for a decent amount of standby and talk time. Put this back together and we'll start it up and see what it looks like. So here's the startup screen. It says tap on the screen to set up the phone. Going to try to calibrate the touch screen using this stylus here. Sometimes these high-res displays can be a little difficult to calibrate because they're just so exact, but this one seemed to work out okay. I've activated the phone and it has rebooted, so I'm going to show you how the unlock screen works. You can see right here we've got this normal side sliding thing for unlocking a device like you would see with other Windows Mobile 6.5 devices. But there's also this gesture area. I'm going to show you how that works a little bit later. But first we're just going to unlock the device. You can see it's the normal 6.5 type look, and you can tell by the buttons down here at the bottom that it's a 6.5.3 device, which is even easier to use than 6.5. So you have quick, easy access to things within a thumb's reach. You don't have to reach up to the top of the screen, just hit the menu button and things like that. So it works a lot better. This is the default Windows 6.5 home screen. It's kind of cool. You can do one of two things. You can grab the screen and scroll it up and down like that, or you can grab the highlight bar and move that. So pretty neat looking. Not the most amount of information at a glance though, because other than the time, pretty much everything just has menu items here, so you don't really get to see any contacts or anything until you move up here. So it's cool looking, but it's not the best system I've seen. I've opened up the slide out keyboard just so you can see the device also works in landscape mode. There's actually a setting so you can have the screen will auto rotate or not, or if it'll only go into landscape mode when the keyboard is exposed. But we're going to pull up the main menu now so you can see it. Easy to hit offset icons, makes for large target area, also makes it kind of hard to visually scan and find something, especially since things are not in alphabetical order. It can be a real mess sometimes. Let's go through system settings, and you can see like the sensor. You can turn on or off the accelerometer auto rotate function. So if we turn that on and then hit OK, it should stay in this orientation in landscape even when we don't have the keyboard exposed. So that's probably a little bit more handy for people. Hit X out and go back to the main menu. And let's see, let's pull up, you see we've got a 3G connection here, so let's pull up the browser. This looks like it's pulling up a Verizon portal. Go into landscape view there. Actually, I'm going to stop that and bring up our own site. It's a nice feel to the keyboard, but right off the bat I noticed that you have to hold down the function button just to get a period. That's a really inconvenient thing to have to go through, because periods are in every sentence you type. Browser looks okay. I'm not even going to test for multi-touch because it's a resistive display. Let's go to the full HTML site and see how that renders. It's probably going to take a while because, well, this is a 3G connection. It's still not going to be as fast as Wi-Fi, which this device also supports. Okay, and here is the full Mobile Burn website. You can see everything seems to be rendered quite well. Try double tap zooming. We have it. A little bit laggy perhaps. That seems a little bit better. It probably wasn't done loading yet. A little bit of kinetic scrolling. Let's take a look at the review of LG's Ally. A little trouble getting it to activate. There it goes. And we'll see how it handles the embedded flash video. So here's the full page, and the first thing I noticed is a little flash logo up there in the banner ad. I'm not sure if we can activate it or do something here. It's a Flash 9 logo. Doesn't appear to want to do anything, so I'm not sure what the purpose of it is. In fact, I can't get back from it. Hitting the back button here does nothing. So I've kind of hosed myself. Had to go back to the main menu in order to run Internet Explorer again. This is the new layout of our reviews, by the way. You can see we have a different scoring system, and there's a table of contents with scores for the various sections, so you should head on over and check it out. But first let's tap on this YouTube video and see what happens. Looks like it's going to play, so obviously there is some sort of flash support in here. It's just the some of the flash ads don't appear to be working. So it's functioning quite well. It's a pretty good frame rate. Let's tap in there, see if we can make it. Yeah, click through to YouTube just like you would expect. I'm trying to stop it here so I can go back, and again, having problems. Browser is not really cooperating with me all that well. Go back here and see if we can get back to Mobile Burn, and see if maybe a double tap will bring up the video in full screen mode. So let's tap the video again to start it. I'll try a double tap to see if that'll go full screen. It does zoom. Zoom in and out a bit here. Definitely doesn't like the zooming. Not the best flash experience I've ever seen, but a lot more than you see on a lot of phones these days. I'm going to go back and show you that gesture area. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a C with my finger, and it's going to recognize it and automatically take me to the calendar. There are a number of different gesture letters that you can draw on the screen to bring up different applications. While we're here, you can see the buttons down the bottom. Let me switch into month, week view, and all that kind of stuff. The new 6.5.3 buttons down at the bottom make the device a heck of a lot easier to use, especially for a finger. You don't need to use the stylus at all. I'm going to try to activate the camera by pressing the shutter button. You see we're getting a message for memory being low already. And there's no obvious way to go through and kill other applications, which unlike a lot of the HTC devices, which had a nice task manager here, it's not obvious that we have one here. Here I am in the memory section of the settings. You can see there's a lot of program RAM here, 211 megabytes total, only 201 of which are available. So I'm not sure what's using up all the memory, but I shouldn't have to deal with it. It's a bit of a pain. So let's see if we can somehow get through and deal with some applications and clear it out. It's not very obvious what I'm supposed to do in order to free up memory. So elsewhere here in the settings, it's the task manager. You can take a look at what's going on here. It says there's no memory available when we try to launch the camera, but we're showing no applications actually running. 19 meg here for the browser, and less than a meg each for the calendar and the task manager itself. So I'm not sure what it thinks I should be doing. I'm going to end all tasks and see if that helps. Should take us out to the home screen, I imagine. Then we'll try to activate the camera again and see if it works any better this time around. That took a while, but I finally got control of the device back, so let's try loading the camera again this time. Now it's running. Really unimpressed though. There's a seashell that I picked up this morning on the beach. You can see there's a digital zoom. I'm using the volume control. I'm going to press the shutter button down a little bit. Now we're recording video. Move it around, test it out a bit. And we'll switch to camera mode with this little control here. Focus. And then take the photo. And I'm going to pop into the gallery so we can see what we just created. There's the photo. Doesn't appear to be any easy zooming. Nope. Nothing too obvious here. I'm not real impressed. We'll try to go to the videos and nope, not finding that either. Let's try to go back to the video player and then see if we can get to it from there. So far this is proving very difficult to use. And there's our one video that we shot. Let's play that back. It's not in full screen, so it's pretty useless right now. There's got to be a way to do it. There it is, that button. Doesn't do it automatically. And there we go, finally, VGA video. Really difficult to use this camera and video camcorder, as you can see. I'm going to put a lot of effort into just being able to load the application in the first place, and let alone try to see anything with it. So here we are at the home screen again. I'm going to tell it to compose a new message just so you can see what the message editor looks like. Obviously you can tap here and pull in contacts. Don't have any in here, but we could just pull one random here and say global support. Hit done. And I'm not sure what's going on here. Just want to send a message. Hit done, I suppose. Here we are. Let's test out the keyboard. So I mentioned it has a nice feel to it. Fortunately, when you hit the space bar twice, it automatically puts a period, full stop, whatever you want to call it, in there. So that mitigates the problem with having to use a function key to get to the period. Still have to do that for a comma though. Otherwise, it feels pretty good. Doesn't appear to be doing auto capitalization though. Let's hit OK and hit send. And it says it's sent. There we go. You can see we just received a new message. This is not telling us it was a landline, of course. I knew that, but it does show you the notifications. You can see once again that the button says notification down here, and then I can dismiss it. This is the phone application. I just wanted to show you how it works. We're dialing, and just so you can see how it automatically will disable the display once you get close to it. You can actually be pretty far away from it when it automatically turns off. So, and of course it works in both landscape and portrait modes. End the call like that. So that's my quick look at the LG Fathom, a Windows Mobile 6.5.3 device for Verizon Wireless. Has world roaming capability, so you've got CDMA, EVDO, 3G data here in the US, and you've got GSM and UMTS elsewhere in other parts of the world. Kind of a difficult browser experience, even if it does support Flash, and so the camera has proven itself very difficult to use as well, especially with memory constraints on the phone. So really not looking all that great right now. It's a decent looking phone, has a nice keyboard, but usability wise has been pretty difficult to get along with these first few minutes. So again, that's the LG Fathom for Verizon Wireless. I'm Michael Orrell for MobileBurn.com.